Hello and welcome, and today we will learn basics of HTML, and we are gonna do it on the web actually. So what you want to do is come up here on this website and then go here on web containers and then just log in normally and then sign in here, and then you will open up into this dashboard like page, and then from here I want you to go in the projects, and then from here you can make a project. And here you see there are many things, right? There's Next.js, there's React and Node files, and for today we want to keep it simple and starting as a fresh developer, we are going to go in the static version, the HTML, CSS and JavaScript, and we click on it. It will initialize the project for us, and here on the right side there will be our output box, and here is our files. So for now, leave these two. In a standard VS Code environment, you don't need these files to start an HTML website, but here, because we are on the web, it needs to process it. And this is our HTML file, and this is our output box. So first thing first, we will start from scratch, and today we are only going to focus on HTML only. And so what, first we need to make a boilerplate, and we do this by shift 1 and aka exclamation mark, and then just do enter. And this is the, you can say, a starting structure we need. So doctype HTML defines that this is an HTML file. And then here is the title of the project. So what are you gonna name it? And let's say I want to name it website 1. And then, as you can see, everything is enclosed within these tags. So this thing is a tag, and there are two tags actually. There's an opening tag and there's an closing tag. Most of the HTML elements you will find are in closing and opening pair, but some of the tags are only opening ones and they don't have a closing tag. As you can see that this whole thing is enclosed within the head tag, because this is not actually visible here on the main page. And anything you want to include as a heading or in a metadata format, you will include in the header tag. And then anything you want to show here in the website, you will include in the body tag. And within body tag, you need to make other tags to actually make something visible. And to start off, we will understand the heading tags. So in order to make a heading tag, you need to write H, which represents heading. And then there are 6 of these based on importance and not on the font size. So if I were to make an H1 like this is how you make an head tag. So you open it, then you close it. The only difference in opening and closing tag is the forward slash here. Forward slash comes with the closing tag. And whatever I write here, let's say I write a heading, it appeared here, and this is our H1. If I write H2, and basically you can just write H2 and then press enter, and it will automatically make a tag for you. But from a beginner point of view, I will highly suggest you to write everything manually so everything sticks in your mind. And then let's say I write heading 2. Now this heading has a smaller size than the first one, but when we use them, we don't use them from the perspective of size. We use them from the perspective of importance. You can change the size of this heading and this heading using CSS. And so we don't want to use them for size point of view. Most of the time, you will only have 1 or 2 H1s in the whole page, because H1 is what comes up on the Google search when someone searches something and maybe your website pops up and the h1 heading will pop up. So you need less h1s, and it's clearly not for the font size, but as a beginner you can, if you don't know the css yet. So yeah, these are the headings, and we can write h3, and then you can write, let's say, hello, and then you can write h4. See how the size keeps decreasing, and their importance keeps decreasing too. Okay, so now we have a heading. How do we write something in a heading? Like, let's say I want a paragraph below this head1 h1. So I will write a paragraph tag. A paragraph tag is represented by p, and so here we write a p tag, and we'll I will make some space here so it's visible. So within this p tag, everything I write is going to be in paragraph format. Let's say this is a paragraph, and see how the paragraph tag started below the heading tag, right? And this is because there are two types of blocks. There are two types of elements in HTML. One is known as inline. Two types of elements. One is inline and other is block. Now you don't need to overcomplicate on this. You will understand these things over time. But what basically inline element only takes the amount of space it requires. Like, let's say I want to make a button. There's a tag for button, just button, and see how I am. Let me write something in here like start, for example. Now if I copy this and paste it right next to it, you see how that button, both of these buttons are line by line. Even if I make it move to the separate line, it's still side by side, right? But for this, for heading tag, the paragraph is below it. That means the heading is a block element. It takes the whole space. So even though it requires this much space, but it's taking the whole line, the whole browser width, no matter what size it's required. And for the button, it's just taking the size it's required. Like he doesn't want any extra space to him. He just needs whatever its requirement is. So yeah, these are the heading tags, and then there's paragraph tag, and then there's this button tag. And now we are gonna do a little practical, well, not real world practical, but better than just understanding. We are going to make a piece of code which basically shows our list of hobbies, and we will also see how to make lists, how to make ordered and unordered lists too. So first of all, I want to introduce a really important concept here, and this is a concept of divisions, or namely div element in HTML. So what a div element does is, a div element is a container of code. So previously we were just writing code line by line, line by line, line by line, and this is not a good practice, because in HTML or in any website you need to divide code in chunks. So let's say this is a div. Okay, it's like this is a division of code, and this is gonna be in div. So it's easier to maintain and debug, and it's easier to write the code as well and style the code especially. And so we made a div, and in this div I'm going to make an h1, and I will name it my hobbies. And you can see here the my hobbies pops up right in the preview box. And now I said, like, we will make a list of our hobbies. So how do we make a list? In order to make, there are two main types of lists in HTML. First one is an ordered list, and the other one is an unordered list. So in order to make an unordered list, you use the tag ul, okay, and you make a ul. So this is your list, an unordered list, and to add items in this list, we will use the tag list items, or li. Whatever you write within this list becomes your item in the list. So let's say, you see how the dot appears here? This is because this is an unordered list, and it doesn't have like numbering. It has dots or dashes. So let's say I like football, and then it appears here, and I will copy this and paste a few things. And let's say I like reading, and I like singing. All of these things are appearing in the form of lists. And then what if I want to make a ordered list? Let's say I want to write these things in the order I love them. So we will make an OL, an ordered list. Okay, the li remains the same for both of them. And so I will write, let's say I love football the most. So I love football. And then on the second priority, I love, let's say reading. Reading comes second, for example. So this is how you can make an ordered list, and this is how you can make an unordered list. And the only difference here is just the OL and UL, and this is really easy to remember because you just need to abbreviate them. And the H1 tags are really easy as well. So this is the basics of HTML, and I hope you understand. If there's any confusion, you can ask me. And for the end of this video, I want you to make a simple website similar in this thing, but instead you want to make it like, so things you want to explore or do in your life. And I want you to make a heading first, then add a list of things what you want to do, and then describe each of these things in a small heading, and like a title, maybe an H2 and H3, and then add a paragraph below it. So let's say you like adventures, and you you want to go to Italy, or you want to go to the London. So you will make a H2 heading, let's say my visit to London, and below it you will write paragraph, I like London and I want to go London in future. So yeah, this is it for the video. Thank you.